Hi there, welcome to this restorative stretch training session with me, Rob. Welcome along. Okay, so quite a lot of people going skiing or booking skiing trips now. So let's try and get you ready for your ski trip. These are great stretches to do for après ski. So let's go for it. If you are going for a ski trip, if you're not, you can use these for anything, for cycling, for football, for rugby, for any of your sports as well. Okay, let's find a space. From here, close the doors, let people know you're taking part in the fitness training session. Check around one way, check around the other, make sure you've got plenty of room. Check your hands aren't going to go into light fittings above you. And then from there, check your feet are a fist gap minimum apart. Turn your toes in slightly, and I want you to just roll forward and backwards over your feet. So we're going to roll over, get the big toe to the little toe flat down to the floor, the pelvis driven forward, and the chest lifted up nice and high. Slow, controlled, easy movements. Now, the idea of this stretch class is to take a stretch, and we're going to hold it between maybe a couple of minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes tonight. So get some nice tunes on the background that are going to calm you down. So the more we can hit our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest, we can encourage our body to recover and stretch longer. So from here, we're just going to stretch our arms up high. We're going to tuck one elbow into the side, let the hip pivot away, and then swap to the other side. Big stretches through the side of the body. Big long reach. Every time, that hand meeting the other hand at the top. Every other time, the elbow coming tight into the side of the body. See how deep you can pull this elbow and keep the length through the body. Running those fingers up the inside of the forearms. Thumbs are face back. Big long stretch through the body. From here, looking up high to the ceiling, watching your fingers, allowing each time the elbows come to the side of the body. Big long stretch up further. A little tilt in the pelvis, getting a bit more movement each time. 5 more here. 4 more here. 3 more here. Last 2. And 1. And release. Shake it out. From here, we're going to roll down and then slowly roll back up. Stretch your arms overhead and return back to the sides. Hands in front of the knees again. Roll down to the ground. Slowly roll back up. Turn the hands out wide. Stretch overhead. Drop the arms back. Return to the front of the thighs. Roll down through the body. Control back through the body. Pelvis drive forward. Stretch up high. This time, elongate. So you're going to come up onto the balls of your feet. Stretch up. Slow control back down. Take the arms up wide. Drop the arms back down by your side. Hands on top of the thighs. Reach down forward. Slow control again. Reaching up on the balls of the feet again. Slow control back down. Take the arms wide, back into position, chin on chest, roll through the body, drop down deep. Go again. Slow control movements. Stretch. Lift. Up on the ball of the feet again. Slow control back down, heels down to the ground. Take the arms out wide. Return back through the body. Curl down to the ground. Control back up. Extension through the hips. Lift. And raise. Get high up on the ball of the feet each time. Slow control back down, heels down to the ground. Arms up wide. Hands back to the side, in front of the thighs. Stretch, drop again. Control it back up again. Pelvis drive forward. Up wide and stretch and lift. Control back down. Arms up wide. Returning to the front of the shins. Drop down to the ground. Control back through. Lift the arms once more. 2 more to work here. Slow, controlled movements. Arms as wide as you can take. Hands back to hips, front of thighs. Chin down, draw down, flex. Control back again. Pelvis forward, lift the arms, stretch up high. Elongate ball of the foot. Drop down. Take the arms out wide. One more here. Hinge from the hip. Roll down through the body. Chin on chest. Last thing to come up is the chin. Pull the arms come out wide and stretch up on the ball of the feet again. And control back slowly to the floor. From here, just work through an easy heel kick in behind. And just feeling that you can land your feet so they're feeling big toe to little toe flat down to the floor. Pelvis is driven forward, the chest is high. Shoulders back into position, drop the elbows down by the side. From here we're going to knee lift and flex. Again, pelvis driven forward, chest is risen. 4 more here. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good stuff. We're going to open up the hips, so we're going to take the left leg out wide to the side. Bolster the pelvis forward, bring the chest lifted. 5 more here. 4 more here. Last 3. Chest lift, hips forward. Control the moves. Let's change leg. Again, feel what happens here. You might find a little shift in the body. A little swagger over to the side. Keep the chest lifted. Slow control wide. Slow control back in. Now the other thing you might find is the foot's going to want to turn outwards. We're going to turn it back in so the feet stay nice and parallel to each other as they come out wide. The glutes fully engaging to hold this. Pelvis driven forward and the chest lifted. 2 more here. Last one. And we're going to shake it out, roll it out. From here, we're going to step over to the left side of your mat, take a gentle step to the right, reach down towards the toes, slowly come back up, step back in again. 4 of these, please. Big step to the right, reach down to the right foot, back through to extension, step back in again. And again, rotate, back up and through, step again. Step, rotate, back up, pelvis to square, step back up again. Well, 1 more here. And we'll shake it out. Step over to the right side of the mat. Let's go. Big step to the left. Control, pelvis square. Rotate down to the left foot. Slowly back up, chest lift. Step back in. And again, step. Rotate. Like a robotic move. Back in. Step. And see if you can keep this foot off the floor as it comes back in. So we're working the balance. Step back in, control, foot stays off the floor, big step, rotate, drop through, back up to standing, balance, go wide again, rotate, drop, stand, come back in again, and again. Keep working this movement. Turn and rotate again. Pelvis drive forward. Let's go one more here. Again, foot still balances. Step, turn, drop, lift, rotate, step, and release. Good stuff. Okay, so coming down onto the floor, we're going to roll onto our right side. And from here, we're going to raise our left foot up behind us into a quad stretch. Then we get our heel up nice and high behind us. And from here, we're going to drive forward on our pelvis. So get our hips to drive forward. We're going to keep our knees stacked one on top of the other. There's a fist gap between the knees in this position here. And the heels up high behind. Shoulders back, chest to risen. Hold the stretch. Nice. Now you can choose. You can stay here in this position here, or you can roll onto your front shoulder. What I want you to do is close the eyes, take a nice deep breath in through your nose, and then slowly exhale. So we're looking for a deep breath in for around 4 to 5 seconds, and receiving an exhale for around 8 seconds. So it's a nice, slow, restful breath. Now, if you feel comfortable on this side here, what you do is roll onto the front, drive your hips down into the ground, level your pelvis up straight, and lift that foot again. You have the heel deep into the bottom, the head to the side, nice, deep, controlled breath. Deep breath in for 4. Close the eyes, deep breath out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you're feeling comfortable with this, you can grab the other hand to the foot as well. Thank you, that raise up. And again, level up your pelvis up square to the floor. Again, take a nice deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, nice deep breath in. Slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, that nice deep breath in. We're trying to close the eyes, relax the body as much as possible, and feel that your knees are a fist gap apart as well. Work the level that suits you. So you could be side lying. You could be front lying just with one hand on the feet, or you could be here with me with both hands on the feet. Every time we're just trying to drive that hip down into the ground, pelvis nice and square, shoulders as relaxed as possible, heel up into the bottom. And if you're feeling comfortable with this and you're in barefoot, hopefully you're in barefoot, I've got my left heel up, I've got the big toe of the left foot in my right hand, and the other toes in my left hand. Got a great deal of what's called plantar flexion here. So I've got a straight line running down the front of my shin, through my ankle, through to my tiptoes. Big, long, deep stretch through the front of the thigh. Take that deep breath in again. Slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Final stretch hold here. Big deep breath in. Slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing one hand off the foot, then the other. Slowly return that foot back down to the ground. Stretch yourself out nice and long, elongate the body, and then you're going to roll the ankle, slow clockwise movements, You've just been stretching, and then counterclockwise around the other side. It's got a good range of movement going back into the ankle. From here, we're going to swap over and we're going to grab the other foot. So we're lifting the right toe up. And again, you can start this by sideline, whichever side you're going to go for. Okay, so from here, sideline position here to start with. Little gap between the knees, heel to your bottom, push forward on the hips. Feel a nice big stretch all the way through the right thigh. Let the pelvis drive forward slightly, bring the shoulders back. Big stretch through the front of the right thigh. Heel is up nice and high through position. Steady controlled gap between the knees. Chest stays lifted on the floor here. Again, we work through that nice deep breath, 4 seconds in. And then slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, and 2. And release. We're going to roll over to the front if you feel comfortable. If you don't want to move onto your front, that's fine. Stand on your side line. Again, adjust your pelvis so it's nice and square into the floor. So we're getting our pelvis nice and level. Got my cheek to the side. The other arm is down on the floor for support. Nice heel lift up. And we're trying to now plantar flex. We're pulling the tiptoes up towards our back. Get a big deep stretch all the way through the front of the thigh. If you want to, give just a little bit of pressure in the top of the toes, pushing the hand away. And then releasing, and then just reassess where you are. And heel into your bottom. Shoulders relaxed. Again, nice deep breath in for 4. And slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, nice, slow, controlled deep breath in. Feel the fibers on the front of the thigh just lengthening. Body relaxed, shoulders relaxed out nicely. And again, if you feel comfortable, got the right foot up, got my left hand, left fingers are on the big toe, clamp round. Right fingers are on the small toes of the right foot, heel to your bottom up nice and high, and pelvis driven down into the ground. Big stretch all the way through the front of the thigh. A nice slow deep breath in for 4. And breathe out, sigh out the breath. And again, deep breath in for 4. And slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, deep breath in. Slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Last roll. Deep breath in. Slow exhale for 8, and 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing the foot. Extend. Drive your toes away from your body. Spin your arms away. We're going to circumvent that right foot clockwise for 8 times. Counterclockwise the other way. Nice, really good. So we've got a really nice big deep stretch there through the front of the thighs, Good stretch out through the front of the shins as well. Now I'm going to open up the glutes. So we're going to come into our press up position. Take our left knee and left foot forwards. And we're going to extend the right leg, sitting on the outside of the left hip. From here, we're going to walk ourselves up a little bit taller and extend the right leg a little bit further behind. So we're hinging from the hip. We're just going to have a little bit of a rock from side to side. Feel the extension through the outside of the glutes. Chest driven up high. Nice stretch on the outside of the hips. Now from here, we're just going to try and push the left hip down towards the ground slightly. Keep our chest driven up. Feel a nice big stretch on the outside of the left hip. From here, we close the eyes. We take a nice deep breath in for 4. We slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Can you adjust your position by lifting your chest slightly higher? Keep the hands down by the side of your knee. Walking your hands back slightly towards your knees. Either side of your shin would be perfect. Now we're going to rock down, so extending the outside of the left hip. The chest stays lifted high. Big stretch on the outside of the thigh. You might also find a nice deep stretch here in the hip flexors as well. Getting the hips back into position, chest lifted. High as you can lift that chest, a big deep stretch on the outside of the glute. And again, the right hip flexor extended nicely. Last deep breath in here, nice deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. Taking the pressure off the lead leg. Kick out the left leg. And then swap it over. Bring the right knee forwards. Roll into the outside of the right hip. Walk your hands side by side of the shin. Lift the chest up nice and high and proud. Rolling over to the right side of the hip, we lift the chest. And again, we're going to extend the left leg behind us a little bit further. The knuckles down to the ground. Chest lifted high, big stretch on the outside of the hips. Again, keep the eyes closed. Take a nice deep breath in for 4. And slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, walk your hands into position. Extend your legs. See if you can lift your chest a little bit further. It's a lovely deep stretch. You can do a lot of office-based work. It's a fabulous deep stretch. Chest stays lifted. You're still on the knuckles of the hands. You might be able to raise a little bit higher. Maybe bring your hands on top of the thigh if you can keep that safe, relevant, and effective for you. The back leg, the knuckles are down to the ground. Big toe, little toe down to the floor. Chest lifted high. Big stretch on the outside of the hips. Again, deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And again, deep breath in. Slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5. See if you can sink a little bit further onto the lateral side of that hip. Trying to get the outside of this bottom down into the ground here. Last stretch here. Deep breath in. Slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 4, 2, 1. And release. Slowly bring your hands back to the floor. Gently moving that knee out of the way. And stepping through into standing. When you come through into standing, roll your pelvis clockwise, then counterclockwise it. And from here, we're going to forward flex, reach down towards the toes for the big stretch through the back of the legs. All the way through the posterior side of your body. Fold your arms, bring your elbows down to the ground. Slowly unfold. Bring yourself back through into standing. Stretch overhead. Elongate. Alternate the arms. And from there, release. Interlock your fingers. Roll around one way. Roll around the other way. Really well trained. Grab your water. Take a good sip. Hydrate. Really well trained. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session. Really good stuff. Should feel nice opening up through the hips and through the front of your thighs. And nice stretch through the glutes as well. Join me next time for the next one. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you here for the next time. Take care. Well trained.